you.
Don't turn off the video.
Hey, you're breaking up.
I'm breaking up.
It's like, yeah. Let me see if I can find my goddamn camera. Hey. There we go. Is that better?
I got you loud and clear, brother.
Yeah, you're still going at the end of your words. It's like a digital lag.
You know, I'm closing everything unnecessary, but hopefully it should still be okay. Yeah.
I can see you now.
You can see me now.
Hey.
Hey.
Okay. So something's happening.
I've spent so many hours
Fabian?
listening to you talk over a 7-day period through Jason Augustus Newcomb.
How many? Nope, not quite. Let me see if I turn this off. And
I'm even turning off extraneous devices right now.
yeah, I don't know if it's me or you. But okay,
How
let's
about
try
we
this again.
use
But if you're hearing me,
OTO and Alistair?
yeah, I'm
Can we just blame Crowley?
sure.
Yeah, let's blame Crowley.
It's because he was a culturally appropriating bastard. That's why.
Crowley was a culturally appropriating bastard, but
unlike the rest of us,
not like did you? So a bunch of friends of mine were getting ripped apart recently by these Romani gypsy people or pretenders to be Romani gypsy about using tarot as cultural appropriation. I was like, but the first tarot deck had as three of its major trumps: faith, hope, and charity. So if the very first tarot deck in existence has faith, hope, and charity as its trumps, how is that appropriating a pagan tradition? Because faith, hope, and charity is pretty as much as far as from a pagan tradition as you can get, right?
well, I mean, they didn't think so, but it is pretty Christian.
It's pretty Christian. Let's
Yeah,
call it that.
I can't believe it, dude. You know, in the state of Minnesota, they have weed pills. They don't have weed; they have weed pills.
Can you just like reach out and hand me one through the screen right now? Like, boom, weed.
There you go. Yeah,
there's so much weed around here. Like, I haven't paid for weed literally in years. Whether I was in California or British Columbia, it's like if I say to someone, "Yo, I need some weed," they just like it just spills out of their breast, like it just falls out like Dionysian plummeting from their Dionysian like bosom. Here's the weed.
Well, here it falls to the floor and I can't find it. I swear to God, something eats it. Oh wow!
Not so bad if you're looking for weed in the carpet.
Right.
When you're looking for cocaine in the carpet.
Oh.
If you are one of those sad, sorry motherfuckers who's trying to find cocaine in her own carpet, and I say her, I mean his, I mean they.
Of course you do, because women don't find themselves in that position. They do other things for coke, but not in that position. Any woman who can't get a guy to look for the coke in the carpet,
if you see someone feeling with their fingers through the carpet, that's a stoner. If you see someone with a straw on the carpet, that's a leave the apartment now before the cops show up sort of situation.
Right. You might be dealing with EA coding at that point.
I gotta say, it's a real honor to be talking to you, and
thank you.
Not for myself, but for everyone listening. Like, you have a reputation that is not less than august.
I know, and I don't understand why. I don't think people pay attention very much.
They're like, they should be like, this dude doesn't deserve our time and attention, yet for some reason we're giving it to him.
I agree, but I still don't understand why. I think that they're sorely deluded and whatever. I don't know. It might be the dilaudid. I'm not sure, but it's yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. The fame thing is sort of weird for me, but I try to remain humble, even though I do take large steps, and I know all the secrets of the universe, and it does get to weigh heavy on the mind, knowing everything. So, but hey, so why did you want to talk to me tonight? What's going on? Oh, I think I know.
Say it.
Did you hear about my new book?
Why, no, I did not, in fact.
You really didn't? Oh, okay.
I
I got a
thought
new book out. It's called The Goetic Grimoire.
I was pretty sure that you weren't allowed to release new information unless Jason said so.
Which Jason?
Newcomb.
Oh no, he. This isn't about him.
Did you ask Brian's permission? Because if Brian and Aaron don't give you permission, like, what are you doing here?
Brian.
Oh
Ashen Hashan?
no, I didn't say that. I no, Ashton Shasan and Brian are two different people. They're not the same person, right?
Oh, um. Well, right,
Right.
right. I've never heard of this Ashen Hashan person.
Who's Ashton Shasan? Um,
I don't know.
I was
I don't know. Who
talking.
is Ashen Hassan? You know what? That's a really good question.
I'm sure
We
he's.
should we should we should get him on the show. Let's call him. I'm sure he's not busy.
I was just talking to him about him on the last podcast, and like I know this is repetitive for people who've already heard it, but so he and I talked a lot, and we only talk about martial arts, and so I said
Uh,
we should do my podcast, but all we should do for 3-4 hours is talk about ninjutsu, and he was
right. And then, but
like,
then,
so angry, and I was like, yeah, they'd be so pissed off. Like, imagine 4 hours of a podcast over, and all they talked about was like Hongoku, Shinkangara, and Gogyo, and they'd be like, I was waiting for some magic, and it didn't happen.
right. Well, like the last 15 minutes, you just say, okay, and now we're going to begin the conjuration, and then you cut it off.
So you did release a very remarkable book once upon a time, correct? When you were young and pretty.
I'm still, yeah. I mean, yes,
So pretty, you're
yes.
so pretty.
Which
Fuck.
one?
Yeah.
Seven Spheres?
I look at your hair, I look at that head of hair, and I think, fuck that guy.
Hey, you know what? Look, check it out.
Yeah, I will. I will check
It
it.
it looks great, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But
No, it looks so good.
can you see it? Can you see it? There it is.
Oh shit. Shit.
Right? It's just a matter of time.
Only a matter of time.
Exactly. I'm joining the ranks one hair at a time. One of these days, I'll have a cool head of hair like yours. Is that the one you're talking about? Since you obviously haven't heard about my latest book, The Goetic Grimoire, it's all about conjuring demons, which I think everybody in the OTO definitely should do. I think lots and lots of demons, and mostly about wealth and finances. I think it would be really good for everybody in the OTO to be super wealthy, and then
Everyone should figure out the exact value of their house and ask for that amount of money.
yeah, I think that's a good start. With that amount of money, yeah, I mean, depending on whether or not you're in an apartment building.
Now,
I'm sorry. I visited too many people in the OTO that live in shitholes.
well, okay. He says as he drinks a bottle of scotch.
Mm.
I've been doing this for a while tonight. Talking to Jeffrey Lee Contreras. You ever heard of Jeffrey Lee Contreras?
I have indeed. I've heard of him and I have spoken with him. He had me on his show a couple of years ago, and the interview went like this. Okay, and now here's Rufus Opus. And then he literally walked off camera and got a beer. And he sat there with his wife and his friends, and they just sat there and watched me talk for like an hour. And I'm like, uh, I guess I'll just go then. And he's like, yep, you just go, Josh. I'm like, okay, thanks, Jeff. That's cool.
Had you showed up at midnight as planned,
Sorry.
I would have been my co-host with you.
Oh no, that would have been fine if I didn't then.
I told him
His questions would have been, hey man, remember that time? And I'd be like,
no.
no.
Questions would have been way more interesting. He would have said, "What do you think about Baron Trump's time traveling machine and the reptilians about to eat all the pizza?"
That would have been great. So did he go off the deep end on the QAnon stuff? or did he actually? Is he just joking?
I actually prepared my podcast listeners because for some reason since COVID, I restarted a podcast I've started a million times, as one does, and I restarted it, and then during COVID, it blew up to like we're at like 6, 7, 8,000 listeners a month
Oh,
right
nice.
now. Oh, dude, it's stupid. Like I've never done anything in my life that's hit. Like I opened for Great Big Sea, which doesn't mean shit to you, but in Canada, if you say you did a duo show with Alan Doyle during the Olympics, everyone's like coming in their pants. I say that to an American, they're like, "What?"
Who?
No, yeah, yeah. You've been like nonplussed this whole rant. I did open for Mothers of Invention. Um, I didn't know who they were, so I was nonplussed. There's always someone nonplussed in the situation. Hopefully,
Well,
someone's on ecstasy, which usually someone always is. So that's a bonus.
have you ever interviewed like Joseph Peterson or had lunch?
I literally right here next to me have my signed copy from Joseph Peterson
Right.
of his book, and
Have you ever impressed him with anything you've done?
I was a significant academic for like 2 seconds back in 2005. Like
Oh, okay.
for 2 seconds, people like sat up and paid attention to who I was. And then I moved to the west of Ireland and started playing the bagpipes for a living, and I vanished. That's
West of Ireland.
yeah.
You weren't near Paul, were you?
I lived on an island of 800 people on the west of Ireland, the Aran Islands.
Okay, all right. He wasn't quite that far. He was still on the coast. We
Aran,
went we went to London a couple of years ago now, and uh, we stayed in London. I mean, in Ireland for 2 weeks on this beautiful property right on the ocean. And it was like the only thing between us and the ocean was this cow in a pasture because they just had pastures all up alongside the ocean. And it was beautiful. It was just beautiful. I mean, I didn't want to leave. And the guy got the whole property. He had like 5 acres. And he spent like $100,000 on it. I was like, dude, what am I doing here? Why am I in Minnesota? I could be in Ireland. So why would you move back?
I'm fuck. Can you tell you just hit a chord or what? Shit.
You don't know, do you? You can't think of any good. Oh, was there a woman?
I
Oh,
moved to Belfast and I met a girl. I thought she was a sister, but that was because they were identical twins with red hair and green eyes, and those.
uh,
And she thought she was her sister, but she wasn't her sister. She was her twin sister. So I moved in with her, and where I moved in turned out to be an OTO Belfast oasis run by a bunch of AA adepts.
that wouldn't happen to have been Rodney Orpheus, would it?
I don't know what that is.
Oh, I wouldn't either.
Now, I
Okay.
believe they're schismatic in some sense. They're either Kenneth Grant or some derivation. I know the UK and the Ireland went through some crazy shit with in the AAOTO world, and there were some schisms and splits. So I don't know much about that. What struck me as a Golden Dawn magician, I'm like the Golden Dawn people don't consider me a purist, but I consider me a purist, which should tell you something. That tells you probably more than you need to know, actually. So I'm purist in some sense, but aberrant in other sense. Like I'm nice to OTO people. Why? Because I think we're all just hermeticists practicing ritual magic to transform our lives and our souls. And
Yeah,
if that's not what we're about, then what the fuck are we doing here? But
I
they
agree.
asked me in the OTO in Belfast to teach classes on Golden Dawn ritual magic. And I said, why? And they're like, because the OTO is not a magical order. And I said, what? I said, what? Because I lived in an OTO oasis when I was 10 years old, and they trafficked heavily in cocaine and child abuse. And I lived there when I was 10. And I was like, this is not my experience at the OTO. I'm a Golden Dawn guy since I was 15 because I started early. Let's gloss over that, okay, for now. And I'm in Belfast at 29, and they're like, we want you to teach basic Golden Dawn ritual work to our OTO people. I'm like, why? When you have your own magical order, they're like, the OTO is not a magical order, it's a lifelong religious route. I was like, well, what's the AA then? They're like, that's a magical order. You can't tell me
Mm-hmm.
that. And I was like, just boom, 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 things blowing up all over my mind. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, like 20 years in the Golden Dawn, and I didn't know any of this stuff, despite my 10-year-old experience in a OTO Coke House, right? Like, you know, in North Vancouver, literally 5 miles from where Frater R.C is buried, where I did all my portal grade Golden Dawn work. When I was in the grade of portal, I did it all at a graveyard up above the university on a hilltop. And there was this old graveyard, and I didn't know, but I was doing my invocation of Thoth and my Robert Zink rosary, Hermetic rosary next to George Stansfeld Jones' gravestone without knowing it. How crazy is that?
That's pretty insane, but it makes sense for somebody in Robert Zink's Golden Dawn to be completely oblivious of the history around them. No offense.
No,
Can I make jokes about all the Golden Dawn orders?
he's my,
Can we bring up who cannot be named?
he is he who cannot be named. Well, Zink is actually not so bad compared to the others. Like there's others.
Right.
Dan,
Right.
there's
Like,
Martin who works with Zaleski, my sister or whatever.
I thought Martin died. Didn't he die?
Martin didn't die.
I think he's dead, man. Wasn't he the lawyer?
No.
Oh, who's the lawyer? The lawyer's dead.
Jorge Hevia was one of
Hevia.
the Golden Dawn. When I was in like Philosophists or Portal in the Golden Dawn, he was one of my chain smoking students. He then went and started suing all of our members.
I know. He went bananas. He BANNANAS. Bananas.
BANAS. Human being to human being. Human being to human being. Because this is trippy for me because I did a 7-day masterclass course with you, and I love Jason. I just did his debut podcast the other night on video.
Oh, congratulations! I'm supposed to do one of those too.
Yeah. Well,
because do you remember when we did the masterclass?
No, I just bought it this year when I was in COVID in California.
No, do you remember when we did it? Were you one of the teachers on it?
No,
you were, right?
I just paid for the class. I bought the class.
Oh, I thought you were a teacher on it. Because you know what? I was going to let you in on a secret, but I guess I already did. I was drunk the whole time, and I don't remember doing even one class for that thing.
No, you didn't look drunk. Like, I
was faced, man. Like, I had the alcoholic face at that point. I was like, oh man.
Are you in recovery or something?
Oh yeah. My liver gave up in April, dude.
Are you actually in recovery?
Oh yeah. I haven't had a drink since April. My if I drink anymore, my liver it quit. No, man. Yeah, I know. Drink for me, please.
I feel pretty bad all of a sudden.
No, don't. No, it's not like that. It's not like that at all. I'm not one of those ex drinkers that have to like not drink and nobody else can drink around them. I'm one of those ex drinkers who can't drink because he's got a liver problem. Jeez. Otherwise, I would have a drink in my hand right now, and that's the only reason I'm not. Is because it's just like you don't go for a run when your leg is broken. I can't go for a binge because my liver's shot.
Wow.
I can't even go for a binge anymore.
That's really sad. Like, so did you actually? You were just like, you're like too Crowley for school.
Oh yeah, no, it was just booze. Like he was never a booze fiend. He was always into hash and morphine and whatnot. But I was just
actually into it. Kaczynski just covered that on the Crowley Mass thing with Chris Bennett.
Yeah, he's I like Kaczynski. Kaczynski is really good at covering all the little details. Did you see him on Thelema?
He shocked everyone by voluntarily going into Crowley's complete drug history with all the details, and everyone, whoa! No one asked you this. No one was pointed, and he was like, no. Kaczynski said, Richard was like, I figured this is what you would want to know about because you're Chris Bennett, the author of Drugs and Occultism, essentially, like blah blah blah. And I figured you'd want to know about Crowley and drugs, point blank. And so here it is. And he fired away. Away. And everyone's like, boom, boom, boom for like, an hour. And everyone's like, holy shit, you just said it point blank, everything. And it really humanized Crowley. And I knew Crowley was a lot more human than people realized. When I was in grade 8, I did a grade 8 biography on Aleister Crowley for my Waldorf school class, and the teachers saw me and they were like, "Oh, Aleister Crowley. Steiner knew of his work very well. How fascinating. I can't wait to grade this paper for your grade 8 graduation." I'm like, "What the fuck, bitch?" I'm like, "No, no, you can't know this shit." And they're like, "Rudolf Steiner knew it well." And they're like, I'm like, it was the first time I looked around my Waldorf school and was like, "Fuck,
Oh.
where the fuck am I? Like, who are these
Oh.
people? Are these people fucking like psychic occultist nut jobs?" Turns out
Yes.
the answer is
As a matter of fact. Yeah. Yeah, my Harper, my fiance for the last 8 years,
I fucking
we just broke up.
Harper, and I think you guys are an amazing couple. God bless you both.
Oh, well, we just broke up. Thanks.
Are you fucking? You're no joke.
No, I'm serious. We literally
Oh,
just made the big announcements on Facebook. No, it's not that big of a deal. It's we separated because we just decided to go do different things romantically, but we're still very much engaged in our professional and our occult work together. So it's not like it's more like we just quit sleeping together and I'm moving out and
I'll marry you.
that's about it.
American.
Yeah, we're still friends, so it's not
Can we
it's
get
not the
married and I become American, you become Canadian?
what.
I'll marry you, and you become Canadian, I become American.
But I don't know. No, there's this other girl you see. Dude, come on, man.
Let's see.
You're cute. You're cute. Don't get me wrong, but no, no, it's no. You're ill-equipped for my proclivities.
Oh my God. I wish you both the best. I've
Yeah, me too.
been working with the Church of All Worlds over on Zell, Mother Bear, and learning about aspecting. So I've been trained in aspecting for the last year and a half. It's been, when I saw Harper talk about it. You don't mind if I talk well of Harper for a second?
No, of course not. I talk well over all the
I
time.
mean, I I think we're lucky that Harper is a human being. At the same time, we're human beings, and hearing her talk about a perspective of what I would call what a perspective of Hermetic magic from a pagan perspective was very powerful for me. Because like I'm conflicted as a Rosicrucian, Gnostic, Christian, pagan person, right?
Are you? Are you really? Are you? No, no, we finished the sentence. No, go ahead. This is going to be a good one.
Yeah. Um, I love Jesus, and I think Osiris is the answer to our way of perceiving ourselves as transformational beings in a ritualistic fashion. And I don't know, maybe we should give deconstruction a second chance.
Maybe. Maybe.
Before we get into Jordan Peterson or Donald Trump. Not the same thing, but no, fuck that. I'm just fucking joking. I'm just jokes. It's all jokes. It's all
I mean, it is the occult. It's all a big joke and nobody gets the punchline.
so
42. Oh.
so like I really loved what you did with Jason. I I'm promoting that shit on my web pages, and you have a serious book. You have a serious book that you put out years ago,
Do
right?
I,
And
which one?
the
I'm sorry.
no, cough it up, fun guy. I'm gonna talk blah blah blah. Te benedictum ascenda date domine the Claudia tuum. Asparagus made
Okay. I think I'm good.
I can go Latin till the so you don't know me at all, really, do you? So I trained in the Anglican Church of Canada as a priest and finished. I did my Master's of Divinity I did that brouhaha. I got to give sermons to the likes of Desmond Tutu and the Dalai Lama and be blessed and initiated by them as such. And I also happen to be Robert Fuckface Zink's godson. That's a fact. These are facts. My godfather, other godfather, is the head of the Transcendental Meditation Organization in Canada. So that's a multi-million-dollar. They're they're a bunch of assholes. Let me put it that way.
Well, I mean,
Transcendental meditation people are a bunch of assholes who will sell out their own family and friends for speaking wrongly. So I'm someone who's been let me say this. I've been persecuted. I've been persecuted and abused my whole life, but I've never had that much of a problem with it. I'm approaching you as I'm the directee and you're the spiritual director now. You're
okay.
the adept, I'm the initiate right now.
All right. What would you like to know?
Fucked me over my whole life, and I've only found my way. I've only found my way by being true to myself and doing as much ritual work as I can to facilitate the transformation of myself into something better.
Yeah. I'm sorry. What was the question?
Where do I stand with you? Like, you're another adept from another tradition. Like, you're definitely not pure GD, right? You're more
Right.
right? I'm pure GD. Um,
Well, and I'm not even
same thing.
that anymore.
What the
I
okay?
mean,
Fucking throw the baby with the bathwater. What the fuck
yeah.
doing the OTO? What the fuck? Because I was in California for the last 14 months. I just got back to COVID Canada. They're trying to kill us all. It's a mess. Like, yeah, are
Well,
we all? They're giving everyone in Canada $2,000 a month. Everyone in Canada gets $2,000 a month to fuck as much hookers and do as much blow as they want, and everyone
sounds.
gets that.
I don't see what the problem is. Are you
Right?
complaining?
Yeah. What's the problem? Like, could you imagine if every American was like all of a sudden getting $2,000 a month in their bank?
Okay. Wait. You asked me a serious question.
I did, and
Yes.
I'm not shying away from that.
Yes, you are. Okay. So I don't know where you stand. Speaking as an adept, right? I can't answer that. And I think that's a really important question that you asked. And I want to take it. I want to give it the gravitas it deserves. I
Thank you.
can't answer that because it's not my place to say. I'll say it anyway because I do that.
God bless.
You have in the course of our conversation, you have covered about 50 different backgrounds that you've been in. You are obviously you're working on making some changes and emerging back into. You're trying on this old podcast, right? So, if I were to give you a reading on where you were at, I would say that you were probably in your green phase. Again, probably you've been through this before, where you go through all the different changes and you take it to another level, and you come out a little bit more pure, a little bit more focused, but not the kind of deep uh, wake up in another country and move on with your life from there, grow where you're planted kind of person that or place in your life. So if I were giving you adept to adept advice or like a checkpoint, because I think it's important that we do that for each other, is you seem like you're on top of your game. You're like you feel like you lost focus a little bit, and then you're starting to regather it. I would say, and you're going to be projecting that into the future. But I don't know enough about you to really offer any kind of valid insights. This is all just initial cold read kind of stuff.
Would you do an experiment with me right now?
Sure.
Okay. I am going to. I do the gamut up to the Rose Cross, all those rituals daily. I do advanced rituals that I was learned as a. I was the chief adept in the Golden Dawn in Canada up until 2004. Right,
Right.
inner
Okay.
order techniques up the wazoo. Right now, I'm going to do because I believe that you're a highly sensitive person, even more sensitive than you let on. I know, I know, I know. I love it. I love it. So what I'm going to do is an experiment. This is an experiment, and I would ask you to open yourself, and I'm going to become you and open myself to you. I've never done this before
Okay.
in this format, but I'm going to do this and see if you can contact any insights about me through you right now.
Uh, Something in your stomach, I guess. Like, are you talking about physically? Are you gonna try to do something? Okay, no,
The
you're
fact
just
you went to my stomach is amazing because I have autoimmune diseases that are all centralized in their stomach, and I'm on all these meds that could kill. Like I should be dead 5 years ago, honestly. Like for three autoimmune diseases, should have killed me through my gut 5 years ago. They when I was 30, they said you're dead by 35, and now I'm almost 40. So,
okay.
but
So there's that, and
as a
then
magician, yeah. Let me. Okay, well, I can see you now. Say something so I can see you.
oh, what? Um, I named my cat Portia because I looked over at her one day and she wasn't really trying to um, attack her own image in the mirror as much as she was trying to get back through it, like the cats of Ulthar and the Lovecraftian thing. And she fit right in around this house because we are all in service to liminal gods. Every one of us in this house. I've got a trans son. I've got myself, who's a servant of Hermes currently, but previously Jove, but in his form of the crossroads god Janus. Um, and it's just this whole place is a big portal, and having a cat that was trying to get through was sort of fitting to me. So we went with Portia.
Rufus Opus. What do you see for me?
For you. Oh, you've got some interesting things going on. I can see like a. All right, if you really want to know, we'll go full hokey on this one. You got silver
Oh,
spikes coming out of your head, right?
oh,
Like
oh,
like silver spikes, like sort of like the Statue of Liberty, but it's more of a crown. It's more elegant. It's not industrial. It's more tiara ish and less work ish. So it's like getting accolades and recognition for your past work. Probably third eye stuff. It could just be because we're trying to read each other. Um, it's 4:30 my time. Turn that off. But yeah, I would say that you've got some accolades coming, some recognition for your work in the occult. Um, it's not as fulfilling to you. It's not projecting what you're gonna be doing. It's more reliving the past, and it's not the fulfillment of your actual great work as much as it is recognition of the grunt work that you did in your youth. So I would say that.
I must say it's fascinating. Given pe- people listening will be shocked because everyone knows how that you don't know anything about me. Everyone knows.
I'm so sorry about that too. I
No,
know
no,
it
no,
seems like it bugs you.
dude, dude. It's a compliment you don't know anything about me. Like seriously, but the fact that you said what you said about me, given you don't know anything about me, is all the more telling. And well done. I'd say you hit the nail on its head, and you even hit a few nerves in me that. Very cool. Very cool.
Well, you got to let that stuff go, man. You've got a lot of bitterness in you. Like it's coming through a lot, and I'm speaking from somebody who is extremely bitter, especially about the OTO. Not as much as you, but
Well, I don't.
yeah, you've got a lot of wounds that you're carrying around with you, and they're like they're right underneath the surface, and it's not like oh, you know what? it's none of my business. And I think that this is definitely not something for a podcast. And if
No,
you
I
ever want to talk offline, man, let me know.
okay, so you're getting a bit more stuff that you can't share online. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, there's things that you do for fun on a podcast, and then there's things that you do, and then it's like, oh, no, let's I've had that happen before with other people where they hit a nerve with me, and Contreras, I mean, he's a little crazy. Let's be honest. He's on the. I don't mean this in any way to indicate that I think he's on drugs, but if he were
He's
a drug,
definitely on drugs.
yes, but if he were a drug, it would end in "ene."
He was microdosing DMT the entire time we just podcasted.
I believe it. I believe it, and I am totally for. I support the use of drugs in every situation, but
You shouldn't tell that.
DMT,
You
you
tell
got to
that.
put the,
What?
he's got to put it down sometime, you know.
I love DMT so much, but I could never microdose it. For me, it's like it's a all limbic function failure. Pass out, you go into the other astral plane. But like, have you done DMT? Okay,
No.
give me an address. I will contact the Canadian Secret Services and tell them I have a special business function in America, and they'll say, "What's that special business function?" And I will say, "To smoke Rufus Opus up with some DMT." And the Canadian government will say, "We will contact the American CSIS." American CSIS is referred to CIA, and the Canadian Secret Service will contact the CIA and say, Elegwin has to reach Rufus Opus right now for some DMT experiments,
I
and
don't.
they will book us and they will paperclip us through. And you know what I mean?
It's not going to happen, man.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna be a positive thinker. Law of attraction. Law of attraction.
So the thing is we touched on my recovery earlier, right? So one of the things, if you get into the recovery community, you have access to every drug on the planet. So it's a nice thing about people in recovery. They all know someone who knows someone.
Dude, in Vancouver, it's a port city, so any drug you want anytime. If when you go to the hospital in Vancouver and they're like, "Oh, we can't give you this drug," just be like, "Bitch, I can get that drug any time of the day or night at the corner store." And they're like, "Oh yeah, okay, you're legit in pain. Let's give you an X-ray," which is what you want in the first place when you go to the hospital, right? An X-ray. You don't want morphine or oxygen. But like, so yeah, you can get any drug you want anytime.
Yep. Hey, can I ask you a question about the Golden Dawn?
Fucking do it.
How big is it?
That is a really good question. So I believe I actually was the imperator of the largest Golden Dawn temple in history. We had over 100 active members, active all the time at Temple Tahuti in Vancouver, and two separate temples in the same building that were, but that's not really an important point. That's not really. So Robert Zink, you know, Zinky Poo, Voldemort, he let everyone in. So his theory was let everyone in, astrally initiate them all, and we'll all be fine and dandy. The chaff will rise to the top or whatever it is. But the upside of that was that a lot of good people did rise to the top. And the Golden Dawn today, I think, actually might be bigger than ever. I mean, you've got Frater R.C, you've got the Ciceros. I mean, I'm assuming that I'm naming people we both know and love.
Mm,
Aaron
yeah.
Leach. I mean, he's a cunt, right?
But he's our cunt.
He's our cunt. I mean, you look great. You were a newt, but now you look good.
It was a salamander. Just for the record.
I've said a lot of things to people about what he did to you on my podcast over the last 100-something episodes since quarantine, and I don't take any of them back.
I don't blame you. Hey man, I'm gonna have to wrap things up here. I'm sorry. We
So
should continue this though. This is very interesting.
we should continue this. I'm glad that we got to bookend my previous podcast with this, But the Golden Dawn's bigger than ever, I think. And can I ask you before we go then, besides talking about how big the Golden Dawn is, because it's vibrant and large, actually, shockingly, despite the hijinks of David Griffin and Robert Zink. What is going on with you in the OTO? What's going on with like what what happened? What happened? What happened?
That would be a podcast in and of itself. But the short answer is I disagreed with the government of the OTO and said some very mean things in public. And they told me I needed to take a break. I took a break. And now I've decided that they can do their thing and I'm going to do my thing. And I love the people in it, but I'm not going to be a part of the order. So,
That's a big deal, right?
well, I mean, it was 8 years of my life, you know.
What are you going to do now?
Carry on with applied hermetics and all the stuff I was doing before I spent all my time and energy on the OTO.
You know, I hear Aaron Leach knows a good order you could join.
See, that's the first answer of everybody who's in an order. They're like, well, I'm sorry, did hitting yourself in the face with a board over there not work?
Maybe you
Let
should.
me to.
Our
Our board is special. It has more nails. More nails. And I'm like, maybe you guys have a problem. Serial order members, I mean, there is a type of occultist that will always be a member of an order, like always, always, always a member of an order, and hardly ever will they tell you about the demon that they conjured the other day. And that's not because they're armchair magicians. It's because their magic involves letting the demons be part of themselves and understanding that aspect of themselves and all that shit, and that's fine. But they also like what's the difference between a large pizza and a member of the OTO or the Golden Dawn, for example? A large pizza can feed a family of four. Hey. So now that joke is indicative that I think more magicians in the ceremonial tradition should be focusing on developing wealth and property, so that they have a position from which to collect better books, and have better bookshelves and nicer places to display their libraries. But um, I mean, I, I'm not a lodge magician, so what happens next for me is definitely not going to be a lodge thing. And all of my problems with the OTO are lodge problems. It was fraternity and the lack thereof. It was uncivility. It was face to face kindness and backstabbing darkness in the back rooms. And that's exactly the same thing that always, always, always schisms the Golden Dawn. And I know you're familiar with it. I heard something about Robert Zink stealing a house. I'm like, how do you steal a house? And I don't know what the story is there, and I don't really care. But it's just there's always something that happens in a lodge where somebody screws somebody and somebody schisms and somebody goes their separate ways. In the OTO, God knows how many times it's happened. And I mean, the OTO itself, the Golden Dawn was one thing, and then Crowley was like, nope, and now we have the AA and the Golden Dawn. And you get into the AA, and you find out that the inner secrets of the AA are called. Um, that group, that level is called the Golden Dawn. So it's like, oh, okay. So
So,
yeah,
what do you think is the most important thing for magicians going into the 21st century?
um, conjure. It's about conjure. It's about relationship with the spirits. Now, it's not about what they represent and how they fit into a fucking spreadsheet. It's not about columns and numbers and I mean, I guess some of it is with the EQ stuff, but for this century, no. What's most important is that you develop a personal relationship with God and everything that represents God. If you're not actively interacting with your connection to the things that you're using to create your world, like every day, I have a devotion to one of the seven gods of the seven planets of the 7 days. Every day I make a connection with the vertical that takes exactly 5 minutes. I go through and I read a fucking Orphic hymn to the god of the day. That's all you have to do, and
Sure.
you plug in for a little bit each day with deity. With this aspect of the source that's manifesting in the world today. If you're not doing that, you know, great. I'm glad that you can banish, you can draw stars and picture blue light. Great. But you're not going to be doing the magic that changes the world and creates things for you. So, yes.
You look amazing.
Yes,
I
please.
love, I love, I love your Harper. Harper is amazing.
Oh, yes. She can't hear you because you're on the headphones.
No, I know, I know, I know. But I
Great.
just want to say that you guys are both blessings to the magical world. I really enjoyed going through the work. For me, it was sharpening the saw, right? Because I'm easy trained. So, like, a lot of the stuff you were talking about was on the edge of my wheelhouse. Anyway,
Hmm.
I hope you continue to be a teacher in our system. Do you want to tell people about the book you have coming out?
Oh yeah, I've got the Goetic Grimoire,
Here's-
right? I actually thought that's why you wanted to talk to me, but that's okay.
Well,
No, no.
I
I,
want to
I
talk to you because I did your course with Jason, and because I was in California and I got picked up by a nurse from a hospital who used to be a lawyer who sang with who's that black guy? Get on up, Sex Machine.
uh
Brown, James Brown.
James Brown.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was
Sorry, I was thinking Rick James, bitch, but
I was
I
hanging with a woman who was a lawyer, an entertainment lawyer in California this last year after I lectured at Pantheacon on Yeats's Hermetic Order of Celtic Mysteries. And she sang with James Brown. She's a lawyer. Now she's a nurse. And she said, "Did you hear what Joshua just went through?" And I said, "No." And we were driving from in and out, of course, in California. And she said, "You need to check into that." I'm like, "I'm literally doing the GOETIA course right now with Jason." And she's like, "You need to talk to him." And I'm like, "I don't know him." She's like, "You need to talk to him."
oh, here we are. I think we should carry on the conversation after I have coffee though.
Yeah. To be, can we definitely to be continue this?
Yeah, let's definitely do that, like, and where I'm not planning ahead by going to sleep. I'll just take a quick nap, I thought.
Okay, brother, I love you. And what's the name of your new book?
The Goetic Grimoire.
And who's putting that out?
Nephilim Press.
Oh, fancy, fancy, huh?
Yeah, of course. Of course. I make all the monies. I
All,
mean,
all my reviews are like, this guy's obviously self-published because he's a cunt. And I'm like, yo, fuck you. I'm a PhD reviewed cunt. Because here's my opinion. Can I just say something?
what's your PhD in?
Well, no, I don't have it. Fuck that.
Uh, oh,
But,
don't tell him that. No, it's in piled high. Oh,
well, I was a PhD student of Nicholas Goodrick Clark. Do you know who Nicholas Goodrick Clark is?
no. Is he as famous as?
He's in colloquial language, he's the shit. But he died on me. He died on me. That
Oh,
fucking bastard died on me. And
you
then
see, I'm telling
posted
you, man,
that
you're
down.
going through a real bitter phase in life where you're reassessing
He
everything from
wrote
your
the
youth.
book
And
called The Occult Roots of Nazism.
oh, okay, I read that.
Yeah, that was my mentor. From
Okay, I saw the movie,
we all
the
did it.
documentary.
It's called Hellboy.
Hmm.
Um. Anyway, fuck. We'll to be continued this, but fuck, man, it's nice to talk to you. Um,
Right.
I have so many questions, but we will continue.
Yeah. Well, feel free to shoot them over, and I'll make sure I have decent answers ready for you next time.
I love the fact that you might be like me, discalced and cast adrift from your order, and I
Oh,
can't be a part of any order anymore. Otherwise, I have no credibility. As long as I stay a part of no order, I have maximum credibility because
right.
people are like, "Oh, this guy's got no agenda.
Thank you.
This guy's got no priorities." And so Tabby can talk to me, Chick can talk to me, Jason, Samuel, the other Samuel, all the
Yeah.
Samuels, all the reincarnated Matherses can talk to me.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think you've gotten everything out of the orders you're ever going to get, man.
Oh, I got Chief Adept of Canada 2000 in 2003. I mean, the only path forward. The question I have actually, that question, if there was one last question, actually, you think there's any possibility for not sex, not,
Let's go back to sex.
not sex,
No, I told you you're not
that
equipped.
success in the Hermetic mysteries as a self or solo initiate?
Oh yeah, definitely. I don't think that the orders have anything to offer, or any man. There's no human being that can tell you or grant you or bring you initiation. What All right, so in the AA we have a have you ever read the history lection? It's Liber 65, I think. At the very, very beginning of Liber 65, there's the history lection. And it tells the story of how Aleister Crowley destroyed the Golden Dawn. And uh, he and Charles Stanfield Jones went off and whatever. So it begins.
Picture of me from his gravestone for you.
Yes, I would love that.
Would you?
So, but it begins. Yes, actually, I would, because I have a deep kinship with Akkad for
How about I
very
just fly
very
you
few
here
years.
to give a lecture with me at the local university that I graduated from, and
As
we
long as long as they have Zoom, yeah. I'm not going to Canada. You guys have the
no,
COVID.
no, you come to Canada because we have no COVID here.
Lies,
Everybody,
lies.
as soon as you show up at the border, we'll give you $10,000 to marry a Canadian Asian woman.
You and I'm from my last name is Gadbois, right? So
Gadbois?
yeah, Gadbois, Gadbois, Gadbois.
What's up with so many people calling you Gad boys?
I
Gad,
know,
and
I
I'm
know. It's
I'm
because they're not from Quebec. So my Quebecois ancestors actually took part in.
death.
Huh? I
Every
didn't
time
hear any of that.
someone says Gad boys, I hear people say Gad boys all the time, and I just want to fucking hit.
Well,
What?
Aaron Leach wrote a rap where he rhymed it wrong today, and I'm just like,
He's a cunt.
and he's really bad at it too.
Aaron
But
Lee
anyway,
actually
what was the
incredible
question?
human being. Aaron Lee shouldn't be born, right?
Well, no, I like him. He's fine.
No, we
So
love him.
no, you had a question. What was
Love
the
him, but
question?
he turned you into a newt.
Initiation. Okay, so it was in the name of the initiator. Amen is how it begins.
We're fucking with you because you fuck with us. You
I
fuck.
don't even know what you're talking about. I have never fucked with a person in my entire life. Everybody thinks that I'm joking, and I'm not. I'm serious the whole time.
You,
I
I love
can't believe this shit.
you. I love you. Man. It's fucking awesome.
All right, man.
Okay,
Hey,
okay.
I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't think that anybody needs anybody to tell them what to do. I think they need to talk to God and let God show them where to go. And I don't care if it's a Christian God or the source or the divine Pymander or what. I think that it's about your relationship with God and what you're going to do with it on earth. And that's what magic is about. And if you don't figure that out, then you're fucking wasting everybody's time. You're just grade hopping and, whatever. Whatever. You can do that too. Do what thou wilt. I don't care, but stay out of the way, you know.
When we talk again, I think people would really value your opinions on how to approach the mysteries that you and I have approached.
Mhm. You gotta sniff them out. You gotta. Sorry. Sorry.
Fair. Not fair. I feel like everyone during lockdown in Canada, dude, all my actor friends in Vancouver, they've been paying like $2,000 a month. I'm like, are you guys still on Tinder and fucking chicks as actor dudes? And they're like, every night. And I'm like,
They ship them out for him. All right, man. I'm gonna go have coffee with Harper and get started on my day here. I mean, started.
dude,
Like I'm gonna get showered and get ready to go.
continued. And if you could contemplate some wisdom teachings for people who can't access orders like we did, or just to bypass them, because you don't need to be in.
Yeah,
I believe you don't need to be in an order, but I
I
don't.
think it. I think it's a waste of time. I think it's a lot of drama and a waste of time.
So
And you
maybe
could, if you save $1 for every dollar you spend on an initiation or a trinket for an initiation, if you save $1, for every dollar you spend on that, I think that you're probably going to be a very wealthy person, and it'll be served a lot better by the money than you ever will be by an order.
To be continued, my friend. To
All
be
right.
continued. God bless
All right.
you. I love you. I love your family. You well. Conks on packs.
Yep. All that lightning extension. Take care, man. Thanks again.
Peace, bro.